Hello.
I'm just going to take a bit of a moment while I'm catching up on turning on the X app. Hello and evening. It's about going to be 6:50, and I thought this is a nice moment when um, it becomes easier to pay attention to our body, appreciative of um, physiology at this point in time. Now, I'm going to be sounding a little repetitive, but we are talking about the same human body we have and working with the same physiological features, but different time of the day, different date, different environmental conditions, also, maybe. Okay. One of the things that helps to remember, or rather to occupy my daily times, or we have different activities in the day, and then there is things we do to rest or to do something else. Here is an activity which will help you to multiply what you're already doing while there is the work and rest and everything else happening. And that is to maintain your attention on your body, to maintain your attention at least on the skin. And you have a lot of skin about your body, different parts of your body. Every time you're resting, rest with your awareness on your skin. Every time you're doing your activities, doing something, be aware of the skin of your hands, for example. Be aware of the skin of your feet, your seating posture. It's your body which is sitting on a chair or lying down or walking. So it's like a two-pronged, okay, let's just say a compass or a divider in a geometry box. One point of attention on you, another point of attention on the outer surface. So the inner surface and the outer surface. But let's just say the skin of your body and the surface that you're touching. So it's like if you're going to see it like, say, a mirror. If you place your hand on a mirror, your skin touches the mirror. So there is the outer surface of your skin and the outer surface of the mirror. Similarly, if you're working on a computer, to be aware of your skin and to be aware of the computer surface you're touching. And then there are other multiplications from there. For example, you can be aware of the inside of your body, your heartbeat, different parts, but that would also be, let's just say, like a point of reference. When you're resting to pay attention to the other parts of your body, and you're resting to also notice certain other factors that needs to be there. You have your calendar, you have your other um, businesses, activities of daily living. And then, so you are basically minding your own business. And every time you get distracted into other than your body or your activities that you need to be paying attention to, you are kind of giving away your power, so to speak, or paying attention to things that you may not have a direct control over. You can mind your own business, but the more you're paying attention to, say somebody else, something else, you don't have an effect on it. Or if you think, then that's a certain kind of an caretaker syndrome. A part of you taking care of something else outside than you taking care of the Muladhara, which is your own body and your business of everyday living. We could spend a lot of time paying attention to other things, while that could also cause worry, but that could also cause distraction in the sense that you're taking care of other things outside than about what would also move your compass. So I'm saying this from experience. I often tend to get into this. It's called caretaker syndrome. You tend to take care of um, also maybe Instagram or YouTube or people, what they're doing around you. And while all of this is happening, when you're aware of your body, like a compass, one prong of awareness of yourself and your body and your bodily composition, the other, you're paying attention to the person you're talking to or the Instagram or YouTube you're going through. Because that way, every bit of information that you pay attention to is in some way tying back to what you are doing in life. You say, isn't that what everybody is doing? But if you're not paying attention to what is getting scrolled, if you're not mindful of what's getting scrolled, then you could be spending your time listening to stuff which don't really add value. And you may not discern that the logic of it is off. It is fake news. How do you know if it's true or false? Unless it's in some way referring back to what you're doing and what you have discerned, yeah, and arrived at, and notice that it sustains the test of time. Now, um, so what can you pay attention to about your body, which will then make it an exercise? Being aware of your body in specific manners allows your body to be exercised while you may not be in a gym, while you may not be, say, turning on the music or dancing or anything that is called traditionally as an exercise. This is um, movementless yoga. And this maintains, for example, muscle tonicity, also helps maintain health where your joints may not be as creaky because you're paying more attention to factors that then maintains health. Or your body is also a chemical factory, so to speak, a biochemical factory. When there is also this reference to hope molecules. Now, this may seem just information, but hope molecules apparently are from how your muscles are moving. So if you're going to go to a gym and going to be exercising, there is hope molecules, is one of the forwards I found on Instagram. But with movementless yoga, you're maintaining the sunny side of life because you're paying attention to different aspects of your body, which then maintains the tonicity, aliveness, and hopefulness. There's always, you're working on, it's a good day, it's a getting better day. Because you're doing a 0.1% improvement this moment, working on that muscle which you weren't the previous moment. So what you're doing today, the set of exercises you may not have done yesterday, or even, well, you brush your teeth today, the same teeth, you brush it. So it's the same activity. But if you don't, over time, things accumulate, and then your mouth tastes different, feels different, food tastes different. And if you do brush, something is maintained as well enough. And then you can do things over and above that. For example, it's not just your teeth you're taking care of, you're also taking care of other parts of your body, which then have compounding benefits. Yeah. And then you can also take care of what you're putting in your mouth. You're improving what you're putting in your mouth, which then has compounding benefits. So it's layer. What can you do? Evening time. Yeah, this is evening time, and it's kind of cooler, but your body is alive and functioning. Yeah, it's the same body, different times of the day, but there is something you can do which will then help you maintain the warmth. It's like a candle which is always on, kind of. There is a warmth inside. And the wax is kind of, well, you have different body tissues It's not autophagy. Okay, let's just let people discern kind of what is that I'm doing. So I invite you to pay attention to your feet as it is. If you have feet, pay attention to the floor, your the lowest part where your body is touching. If it's a feet, good. If you don't have feet, then which is the lowest part of the body which is touching the ground? Yeah. Now pay attention to how does the floor feel on the lowest part of your body. Okay. And then you're noticing your feet in terms of the surface tension of your skin. Okay, the lowest part of your body, you're paying attention to your body in terms of the in terms of the surface tension of your skin as is in contact with the floor or the ground. So that's like in Aikido, they say walking on rice paper, such that you're mindful of how you're walking, because the rice papers would go creaky. Yeah. Um, Crinkle, what is it? Crisp. Yeah. So then it would, how would you walk on rice paper? Yeah. That's that's an example for being mindful. Okay. So you know the surface tension of your skin, and you're also aware of the surface you're placing your feet on, or the lowest part of your body on. And then you're also probably paying attention to balance between left and right. But if you're sitting, these factors are still on. There is a part of your body touching a surface, and there is the balance between left and right. And then after this are the other factors. For example, there could be muscle tension between left and right. If you shift your weight between left and right, one side of the body feels more firmed up or different than the other side of the body, which would also tell that your weight is imbalanced. So this is again awareness. But it's not just about, oh, you maintain a posture a certain way. The thing is, when you're digesting food, there are several muscles inside, which is not exactly symmetrically placed. And then there could be gassy stuff. If you've eaten lots of pulse, there's going to be gassy stuff, and they will move your muscles differently. And when your gassy stuff, for example, is going in your stomach, your other muscles tend to adjust to be able to then help a little bit. It's a subconscious, unconscious, supraconscious process to maintain life and support different processes while you may be consciously working on your task or on the phone, etc. So the subconscious, unconscious, supraconscious processes you may not be consciously aware of unless you're paying attention to what you wouldn't normally every day, which is when you notice at a subconscious, yeah, at a layer just below what you would every day pay attention to, which maybe music, or to different beeping sounds, maybe, to what is just under the surface, subconscious. And then you may notice, how is your ears, left versus right, tension? How is the muscles? You may notice your ear twitching suddenly to a sudden sound, but that's a behavior you will notice only if you're aware of your ears. And then you're aware of, okay, that happened. Over time, your nervous system is so innervated with your musculoskeletal system that these movements come to your awareness. Yeah. And then your body begins to make these subtle adjustments so you're safer. So you're not losing balance. Yeah. So paying attention to your body in this sense has so many, it's not just survival, but it's about appreciation, living benefits. When you pay attention to not just your skin, but you are really invested in your body and life, because your body is a topography of life as lived at a point in time. From one geography to another, when you're moving, it's the same body that experiences life, but it's your life which is moving through different geography, different spaces. So you're basically walking with the book of life, your office, your home, your vehicle. So it's like a trailer home. When you're paying attention to your body in its different layers, what you see in a store, in a stall, in the traffic, anywhere is all bits of information, which may or may not have compounding benefits in your office, home, vehicle, life, business. And then you do the 80-20 principle. There could be 80% of things you may have been paying attention to all and doing things which may not have added to what you're doing in life. You pay attention to 20%, which then covers for the 80%. But it's that 20% which is more refined information, which is meaningful information for you and your life, but in a way that maintains health, that maintains wealth and wisdom, but in a way, now this is where it gets very fine. You may be interested in making wealth, but it's about how do you make wealth? If you're making wealth by child trafficking, yeah, I don't know who's in the audience right now, but if that's how you're making wealth, sooner or later you get into trouble. And when you're mindful of your body, of your thoughts, then you will see clashes within the conscious, subconscious, unconscious, supraconscious processes. And those clashes maintain dis-ease. So if you're only paying attention to outer and things that you need to do, your tasks, your calendar, but not aware of your layers within your conscious, subconscious, unconscious, supraconscious, you do not see the mismatch between what's happening inside and the activities you're doing outside. So superficially, like outside, you're accomplishing things, but inside, there are several layers of things that you need to be doing, but you're not doing because you're not even aware that you need to pay attention to them. Your body is having the blueprint of what would have you be healthy, wealthy, wise. When you're not aware of your body, you're not aware of the blueprint, which then has you have sustainable health, wealth, and wisdom, which is also what I'm calling as conscience. So you could have layers of what's been called as sin, but that's also because you're not paying attention to the cause, as in cause for, what's the cause for something happening? Sin caused tan. And then how you cook from your conscious, subconscious, unconscious, superconscious processes also gives you a skin tan. Yeah, sin caused tan. But the sin keeps getting the cause, the sin, and tan, they all just work it out together such that it's a more, your trajectory of life, your phases of life, which path you take automatically keeps getting better. It's nature's original information technology. This is a natural course correction that happens because your body is designed to live a healthy, wealthy, wise life. And it's because you're not aware of your body that the sins are maintained, the causes for the sins are maintained, and then you're not cooking well enough for your metabolism to be well enough such that there are no clashes and there is automatic code correction and all of those things happening. So I call it as internal redistribution of units. When I'm aware, and then I see new things happening. So as you walk, the path appears. As you're doing the right thing, that's also the secret within the secret. The power of attraction, no, you're doing the right things. And in the sense, you're doing things conducive with you being well, people around you doing well, future generations also doing well. That is something that happens when the clashes between conscious, subconscious, unconscious, superconscious resolve, and they're working in together, and your conscience improves from how they're working together. Then it's a another form of power of attraction, so to speak, because you're like a prayer. What you pray, what you think about is what then comes around to you. Yeah. So if you are constantly improving your codes, then that's like without saying anything, without talking anything, your body is making the rhythms, which then speaks to the microcosm and the macrocosm about who you are, what you're about. So it's a natural, well, if you consider that everything around is divine, gods everywhere, plants, trees, animals, um, deities, angels, what have you, different kinds of religions, all kinds of people. You're like a safe bet in the sense what you're doing is making the microcosm and the macrocosm better because you're supporting what they have created all of us for, our human body for. Yeah. So that's a bit like the candle, the ninth Hanukkah candle. Yeah. It's, you're just, you're waxing and waning, but then you're always in practice. It's a constant practice of um, maintaining harmony between your conscious, subconscious, unconscious, supraconscious processes also because you're aware of what's happening inside you. And when you're kind of slowed down to the point that you want to be doing stuff, but you're just not moving forward, there would be a good, nice reason for why you need to be paying attention to now than just going ahead with your calendar and then yay, yay, yay. Because then it's like you're in a junction, in a traffic signal junction. Yeah. Where there is something, you don't just barge in through a traffic signal. Yeah. You wait. And then there is the signal changes and then you move. So that way you would be functioning like a vehicle who's mindful of the present moment. And then you may be going through a metamorphosis phase. Now this phase, and then the next stage. And then you would know which direction then to go. For example, this day I was just interacting with people, doing my stuff. And then I was watching something on YouTube, which then triggered me back to, okay, now back to service. So I had a pause, and then activities redirect me back to what is better next done. Or so there is a neuro navigation, there's a natural map. It's like a compass. There's this movie, Golden Compass. Now I'm talking in terms of allegoricals. But what I'm talking about is your vehicle. It's like you're a spaceship and you have a compass. Okay? Your conscience functions with consciousness, different levels of consciousness, because you're aware what you honor honors you and your life. When you honor the different processes that's happening within you, which is also in tandem with what's outside, you are then moving in a way that then serves not just you, people around you, and also future generations, but in a way that things are not getting jostled, but instead, what you're doing is improving in several levels. So it's like a compass, which then, like a ship moves by a map. So there's a certain internal map, so to speak. And then there's a certain physis, how you travel, journey that you make, and then what becomes possible. So it's a different kind of a navigation choice. You're not just given by, oh, you have internal thought lines. No, you're in correspondence. It's a different communication or um, bits of information, but how then do you collate it? So it's a correspondence. Um, Prakriti and Purusha. Yeah. You're always deep diving into one or the other topic. For example, my calf muscles. Yeah. I've been having a bit, something bit me. Yeah. And every now and then, sometimes I'm paying attention to, and then I go open that scab. You know, I was thinking, okay, I got to work on it. I got to work on it. And today I paid attention to it. And then I noticed a difference between left and right. Yeah. So, and then it becomes easier to improve the cardiovascular system between the left and right without moving a muscle. And what I'm doing is paying attention to the length of the muscle fibers of my calf. Now, muscle bundles, calf has muscle bundles, and they're basically fibers, bundles of muscle fibers. So there's a length to it. When you are aware of your calf muscle fibers, you will notice where does it start, where does it move through, and where does it end. Different muscle fibers, bundles, different directions. Abdomen, for example, has it in many, many directions. Yeah. Calf, hands, fingers. You should just check out the face. The face has circular muscles around the, mouth, about the eyes, circular, and then cheekbones different, jaw muscles different, forehead different. So muscle fibers go in different directions. It's quite a interesting engineering on how just the muscle fibers are oriented in what all directions they are. I will recommend an app. Okay, it's called. Okay, so there are two. One is 3D Human. Yeah, one is called 3D Human. The other one is called Atlas. Yeah, virtual. Yeah, it's called Visible Body. Okay, I mentioned it as Atlas. Okay, Visible Body. Visible Body is one. The other one is 3D Human. Yeah. Um, Biodigital Human. Okay, I've named it as such. Sorry, 1 minute. I'm just gonna look it up. Biodigital Human. Yeah, 1 minute. I'm just gonna should be pausing it. Oh, it's taking a long time opening. I think it's Biodigital Human. Yeah, Biodigital. Yeah. These two are fascinating world. Lots of countries in our body. Yeah, lots of people. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you say, okay, I'm from the field of medicine, but you have a body that's human. Yeah. No matter which field of work you are, you're a human. If you don't know your own body, country, continent, village, what have you, you don't know your own universe, multiverse. And when your say different parts of your body is making different sounds, then you will say, okay, some sound. And then you have to go to mechanic, doctor, or somebody to then repair it. When you okay, and they will repair something. You don't know what they repaired. Yeah. So if you don't know why, yeah, if you don't know your house, you don't know your vehicle, you don't know your body, um, you're living life or something like it. Okay. To put it more simply, more precisely, you don't know the life you have, or you don't know what you have. Yeah. Because that's like you're having a phone with lots of amazing features, and you're using it only to call people. Yeah. So an iPhone is quite an example because it has an eye, a little human eye with a dot, and it's a phone. It's more like telecommunication. But you also pray. You think you're praying only when you chant mantras or you speak it out. Here I'm saying by just having a body that's human, you already have it's like a telecommunication tower. Yeah, kind of, which is constantly sending out messages. Your heart is beating, but your body, frequency, energy, vibration, that's happening for the heart and bones and different parts of your body. And how is the orchestra between the different parts of your body all the time? And then over and above the harmony or the music or the noise that's your body, you can go to temples, churches, what have you, read mantras, japas, all that stuff. So the benefits from reading the mantras, japas, all of that stuff is there. All the um, sacred, divine, spiritual stuff have their own benefit. But underneath it, you need to do your own work. You need to take care of the faculties that you are born with. And then when you're praying to God, that's additional benefit. If you're not taking care of what you already have, and then you're going to be praying, God can help you to this extent. After that, you really got to do some work, yeah, because you may be having the benefits and gifts, but you need to be able to consume it. So I am just bringing something to your attention. How do you do movementless yoga? How do I pray How do I exercise? So Nirbija yoga is like exercise, kind of martial arts, but this is martial arts for peace. You're not kicking anybody or anything. You're just maintaining harmony, normal, ordinary, harmonious living. It's also healthier metabolism. It's also cleanliness. It's also prayer. It's a whole list of stuff. Yeah. It's kind of like cardio, weightlifting, and um, martial arts for peace, all at once. Yeah. So and you're basically improving nothing for the better. And when nothing improves, everything improves for better. And something and anything, you're just minding karmanyavadi karasti ma phaleshu kadachana. So you're just minding your own business, your own life, and what you need to be taking care of. You're honoring microcosm and macrocosm, and all of that. What have you? Many many subjects, sociology, and then microbiology, and then you have what subject do you have under the sun? Okay, and also um, galaxy, which is over and above the sun, universe, multiverse. You got lots of stuff, which is why Mighty has layers of values. So Nirbij Yoga is one of it. And then you have other things of how to iteratively improve your everyday activities such that your 80% becomes 20%. You just do this, just make the course, and then people log in and then study the material. Otherwise they'll have to read through several books, have to watch movies, have to read stories, because I keep recommending all of that here. Yeah, I think people are doing all of that stuff. And so it becomes while you're going about your daily activities, you can just go through one of the things here and you'll be becoming better. But your body textbook is what I have more introduced you to. So I hope this has been of value to you. And you have a tool to not get distracted. Because if you're having ADHD or any such neurotypical, neurodivergent, all that stuff, you have a body to an activity by which to keep all your multifaceted personalities engaged in such a way that they're not going, oh, this and this and this too. You may be dealing with juggling with many areas of life because you may not be holding them all together from your body awareness. So it's like a wheel, the hub and the spokes. So your point of attention is your body, and then from here, there are all kinds of connections to all different areas of your life. All different areas of your life have a reference with your body, because your body is a topography of the life you live. So when you're paying attention to your body, slowly, slowly, all these, if there is, what do you say, contradictions, yeah, if there is clashes between one area, that superimposing, and then you're juggling between, you may be dealing with 50 things when you only need to be dealing with 25, because you're repeating many things twice because you don't know you're dealing with so many things. And so I call it internal redistribution of units. As you're paying attention to your body, you notice this activity is also there somewhere else, and there's natural course correction and code efficiency and all of that. So you're just living one life, many many areas of your life, just one life, and regularly clarifying between conscious, subconscious, unconscious, superconscious. Your conscience keeps getting better. And what you do per time, effectiveness, efficiency of time, space, resources, you're always doing things better, getting finer. So it's a simple life, but it's the benefit of yoga. I have spoken a little bit here. I hope this has been of value to you. Do contact me if any of this interests you. And if you'd like to take your health maintenance, health, wealth, wisdom maintenance game to the next level, we got lots of new things for you. Yeah. Thank you for joining me. Good day.